The quest for an MIA crown continues for the Somerville boys varsity soccer team, while the Highlanders football team dropped a heartbreaker to Watertown last Friday in the sectional semifinals. All that and much more comes your way right now on a brand new edition of the Somerville Sports Updates. Welcome in, my friends. My name is Matt Noonan, and this Wednesday, November 8th, will be another big day for Coach George Scarpelli's boys varsity soccer team, which will attempt to take another step toward a state title. The Highlanders, they began postseason play last Saturday with a commanding 5-1 win over Peabody before rallying to beat Boston Latin earlier this week on Monday in overtime.
I tell the kids, I've been doing this for 30 years. State tournament is funny. You're going to win one because you're lucky. Today was lucky. You got to be very honest. You got to give Boston Latin all the credit. They played a very smart game. I think we were, individually a little more talented than them. They sat back and played a very smart defensive game. We got the PK and then the own goal right there. It's what tournament's all about. So it could have gone either way. Brookline's always been, they're in one of the top leagues in the state. So when you're playing a Brookline team, how well as the coach they are, they're going to come in and give us the same type of headache. So this is the way you have to play these games, and these kids have to learn how to fight right to the end. Because even their goal, we tell them one mistake can cost you the season. So it's really that every touch, knowing that intensity is part of the win or loss of the game. So they, knowing Brookline, they're going to be very good, and we've already scouted them. They got some great talent, and they know what they're doing. So we just have to go after them, and hopefully we can break through and get one more goal than they did. That's all.
All right, thank you, Coach. So as I mentioned, the Highlanders, they've been rather impressive thus far in the postseason. Wins over Boston Latin and Peabody set up Wednesday's semifinal match with Brookline and Lowell at Colley Stadium. The Warriors, they earned a trip to the Mill City with wins over East Boston and Lincoln Sudbury. Now, the winner of Wednesday's match will face St. John's Prep on Saturday in the sectional finals at 11 a.m. That game will be held at Manning Field in Lynn. Let's switch gears now to the Highlanders football team, which saw its bid toward a sectional final conclude last Friday evening at Dilboy Stadium when Watertown scored the go-ahead and game-winning touchdown with 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter to clinch a 21-20 victory in the D5 North semifinals. Fred Caston, Elijah Jeffries, and Giovanni Pierre, they all scored touchdowns in the loss, and while Marcus Thomas came up with some big stops on defense. Somerville will travel to Newburyport this Friday, November 10th, for a non-playoff tilt. Kickoff for that game is scheduled for 7 p.m. And how about a few news and notes to pass along before we bid adieu? Somerville's Melissa Baptista, now a senior on the Tufts University women's basketball team. She earned a spot on the D3Hoops.com 2017-2018 preseason Women's All-America team earlier this week. The Highlanders cross-country team, led by Coach Brian Kennedy, will be back in action this Saturday when they compete in Rentham for the MIAA Eastern Championships. Best of luck to the Highlanders. And also going on this Friday, Somerville's girls varsity basketball coach Sheila Freitas-Haley will be hosting a free basketball clinic at the high school. Students between the ages of 4 and 13 are welcome to attend, and that will be a fun event for sure. And that will do it for another edition of the Somerville Sports Update. As always, you can stay connected with both the Somerville Journal and Scat TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll see you next week, Somerville Sports fans.